Hi everyone, week 5, weekly update by McManus Real Estate. Pretty exciting stuff going on at the moment, so we've got a lot to cover, and we do have this live. So we've got people that have come in live, thank you very much, and we'll be getting some questions up on the screen as well. So I'll answer those in due course. Right, let's first up, Stockinbingal Hotel, that goes to auction this Friday, and boy, have we had some activity on that, and it's across the board really. So just in case you don't know where Stockinbingal is, it's in the Riverina, and it's between Junee and Cootamundra. So the inland rail, there's a portion of it coming down from Parks that'll meet at Stockinbingal, and then it meets the Western Rail at Stockinbingal. But a brand new track, 47 kilometres of track, will be built from Stockinbingal to Illabo and onto Junee on the old railway line. So that's the background. Tiny little town, country town, fantastic. Was a rail town, used to have a train every 30 minutes going to Cootamundra, that is. And it's coming back. It's going to be a rail hub eventually once Inland Rail goes. The Chinese construction company pull out, and it'll be a thriving little town with 50 to 100 railway workers, normal railway workers. So the short and curlies of it all, there'll be 400 workers based in a workers camp at Stockinbingal. There's no pub open there now. There's a post office, that's it, and a bowling club, a volunteer bowling club. It's not a business. It's just there for locals Friday, Saturday night, and they're at capacity now. So that's the story of the town. And the Stockinbingal Hotel will go through a number of phases for it to be a viable, sustainable opening of the hotel. And after this period where the Chinese construction Chinese community, let me get that right, community, I'm pretty sure it's not the Stockinbingal community, construction corporation or company leaves town. So there'll be 400 workers based there. No pub unless you drink drive to Junee or Cootamundra. Unfortunately, we've had some resistance from John Holland, the Chinese community construction company, through a representative, Jody Grant from Brisbane. Not really in touch with how it affects a local community, and it's just a shame they don't spend a bit more time in consultation, and they would realise that you just don't go run around like a bull in a china shop. Anyway, we've had trouble. They didn't want to employ the prospect of using the Stockinbingal Hotel if and when it's going to reopen. There's no two ways about that. But they wouldn't use it for accommodation. There's 12 rooms there, and they wouldn't use it for food and beverage, which is a real shame. No idea why they're coming at us from that direction. And yet Grant Johnson from Inland Rail backs up Jody Grant in that it's not commercially viable. They would prefer to put people in Junee and Cootamundra. They would prefer them to I suppose that the temporary management and so on will be in Cootamundra or Junee. And their 400 workers, after a hot day's work, would be drink driving to one of those towns. So fortunately enough, Michael McCormick and Steph Cooke, the local members, have come on board, and in their capacities are looking into why a $1 billion contractor doesn't want to use local facilities and allow legacy. And that's what we're looking at here, that after, you know, the Stockinbingal Hotel will be reopened, it'll have 3 stages of renovation and improvements, including new cabins, including a new restaurant and bar area. And then it'll be a destination. Once these guys are gone, this taxpayers' money, that's your money, has gone, they'll have a facility that will be sustainable. So it won't be up to the level of Sir George, but it'll certainly be a close second, and people will be able to come out and stay for the weekend at Stockinbingal and have, you know, coach rides and all those sorts of country activities. So the idea is that the pub reopen using the government contractors as a mechanism to reinvent the hotel, bring it up to standard, make it a destination so that it's sustainable once they leave, and that's an important part. So I'm going to leave you the Chinese Community Construction Company or Corporation's contact for Jody Grant and Inland Rail's Grant Johnson, and feel free to call them and just ask the question that I did. Why don't they want to use local? Because Stockinbingal is local to Stockinbingal. Why are they using towns beyond that? Why would they want to risk their drivers, their staff drink driving? You know, and there's a lot of ruse between Cootamundra and Stockinbingal and Junee, believe me. So anyway, Michael and Steph, they can work that out at their level with who and what and why these contractors, they are employed to apparently, according to Inland Rail, that they're meant to use local. We're yet to see it, but it's good to have that behind us so that the next buyer on Friday can buy this fantastic little pub and know you've got 400 workers coming in for a decent meal and a beer on a Friday night, and really kick your business into the stratosphere for a couple of years and get that cash flow behind you. Moving right along into the marketplace itself, and a shout out there for the Cootamundra Gundagai Council as well, looking at you know, you can't have side offices on corners and taking up parking spots that the post office uses. The only trading, well, the 2 businesses, but it trades 5 days a week, so taking up those parking spaces, just, yeah, some silly decisions. Right, moving along to the general market. The general market, okay, we've got destination hotels on the rise, which is awesome, bringing those people out of Sydney and Melbourne, throughout the state, and in the northern rivers area, bringing them out of Brisbane. So that'll continue. People spending a bit of money renovating these lovely old hotels and then making them a destination, and you're getting between $300 to $400 a night. Great businesses, good food, good accommodation, and get the auxiliaries, the locals involved. Like at Stockinbingal, there's a coach and drays and things like that. You get all the locals involved. It's fantastic. So destination hotels are on the rise, Airbnb on the decline. So Airbnb, the impact it's having in regional towns, and Byron Bay Council, big shout out to them, because they made a stance and have stopped how many days a property can be Airbnb'd. So therefore bringing it back into the normal rental market, which is fantastic. And then the locals can afford to stay there and work at Coles and Woolies and give everybody services, because if you don't have workers, things close. So let's see that carry on, because The last report I saw, Airbnb had taken 500,000 houses out of the New South Wales market, rental market. So that ain't good. So yes, and it's good for motels and caravan parks that have been struggling just a little bit, or some have been. Talk about that in a moment. But yeah, there's a point in case that really do we need it in a lot of places where there's enough motels for transient, for the travellers. Now, motels and hotels, McManus real estate ones. So, the reporting. So, I want to listen. These are my results, the ones that we help, that we've listed and sold over the time, and we still have meetups and help with marketing, all those sorts of things. So go in and do assessments, and it's the little things that are really paying off at the moment. So reporting, 90 to 95% occupancy ratings still in regional New South Wales, and coastal 92 to 98%. Now that's bucking a wee bit of a trend out there at the moment. There's been some have seen a drop off of up to 30%. Well, we're not doing that, but there's a caveat on that the guys that reporting to me are listening and doing. So they're improving. The moment there was a little bit of a lull, Christmas, New Year, they got in, they did their quarterly clean throughout the units or cabins. They updated pillows, they did all those sorts of things, went through, updated stuff that it was just time to, doona covers, all that sort of stuff. So that makes a difference. People come back. The caravan parks, that they did spring cleans in the ablution blocks and all that sort of stuff, and they're getting return business. That's the reality. So just a matter of getting in touch with your agent. If I'm not your agent, you're most welcome to call me and we can do assessments. But if you don't want to use me, use your agent and get them to come back and do a little agent's audit. Go through your rooms one by one and just have a look at them. Have a fresh set of eyes over them. See what needs to be improved. Maybe it's time for a paint. All these reinvestments, they keep your percentages high. You might think you can defer it, you can't, not in this market, because what will happen is they won't come back. You've got them. Now to keep them, it's really cheap, but if you think that you don't have to paint, you don't have to change your pillows, maybe even floor coverings, when did you last do that? So all those sorts of things matter, and that's where the return is. That's why some are at 90, 95%. That's why some are dropping 30%. Anyway, demand for motor lodges. I've been on this for about 4 or 5 weeks now. We have a massive demand for 20 to 60 room plus motor lodges. 5 to 50 million regional New South Wales. We've also got demand for Sydney again, which I haven't had for a wee while, other than development sites. A lot of the motels turn into 2 development sites, but now we've got demand for motels in Sydney. So that's it. Next auction is the 28th of April. We've got 11 days till cut off. Don't forget, Stockinbingal Hotel goes up Friday. She's going to be a really strong auction, that one. It's just going to be a little gold mine for about 5 years, 3 to 5 years, while that inland rail is built. 400 workers, that's 400 bears and beds, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to start that at about 500,000 Price guide 550 to 650. That's going to be a great little buy, and certainly a great conversion. Easy to convert to trading straight away and then build on it from there. So we're out and about, obviously we're on the road. Give me a call, 040 297 0217, or Brian at Brian McManus Real Estate, and we can get you listed. Mainly need a bit of time to get the accounts and contracts. We need those from day one. Have a wonderful week and hope to see you out there.